So it's a beautiful early March day and we're about to do some Euro mounts, so we wanted to show you guys how we do it. In a previous video that you may have seen, we already got them all caped out so they're ready to be boiled out. We have a 55-gallon drum cut, and that's what we use as our boiling pot, just with a normal burner and a propane tank. So we're gonna get this pot boiling, and then we're gonna cut down the flame a little bit, and then we'll put the deer heads in so they'll be ready to start boiling. So you want to make sure you set a timer for every 15 minutes or so you can come out and check and make sure that you don't need to add water. If you let them boil for an extended period of time without checking them, it could ruin your antlers after all the water evaporates out of the pot. As you can see, it's a pretty slow process, but there's not much work to do right now. We're just waiting for that meat to get kind of tender so it'll be easier to get it off of the skull. Looks like we're ready to pull them out and see where we're at. So we're gonna go ahead and get one of the heads out and look it over and see if it's time to start doing some work on it. So as you can see here, the meat is starting to peel off the skull, and that's what you want so that it's easier to get it off, and then they'll go back in the pot for some more boiling. Just try to pull off the pieces that come off the easiest. You don't want to have to fight with all the little pieces because they'll get loosened up more and more as you boil them. When you're doing this part, you want to be careful because these bones are really fragile right here. You don't want to be putting too much pressure on them and break them because they're really easy to break. We're just going to continue cleaning these up, and then we're going to put them back in the water and continue the process until we get all this meat removed. Stay tuned and we'll get back with you guys on the next step. So we're about 7.5, 8 hours in, and we got the deer heads pulled out the pot. We're gonna go ahead and fire up the pressure washer, and we're gonna use that to kind of pressure wash them off and get some of that stuck on meat off the skull. If you don't have a pressure washer, it's not the end of the world. You can either go to your car wash or you can skip this step. It just speeds it up a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to get it off. So it's the next day. We spent about 2.5 hours today rotating the deer heads one by one through the boiling pot and power washing them even more. So that kind of wraps it up for this part, so stay tuned for the next steps. We're just scrubbing it just so that we can get that waxy residue off that was formed in the boiling process, just to keep it clean. Alright, so we finished off getting these boiled out. So now there's a couple different ways you can do this, but the way we like to do it is, first of all, we're going to wrap the antlers in aluminum foil, and then we're going to brush on some peroxide and bleach, and then we're going to set them out in the sun for 5 to 10 days until we get that desired white look that we want from the Euro mount. Then you can just go ahead and continue to work your way around and cover up all the surface on the antlers until you get them all covered up. So we're getting this one finished up. We're going to finish up the other two and show you how we do the peroxide and bleach process. So this foil we put on here will protect the antlers from any bleaching from the sun while we bleach the heads. What it won't do is protect the antlers if you get any bleach beyond the burr or underneath the foil, so you still want to be careful when you're going around these parts not to get any bleach underneath the foil. So you can just get any kind of squirt bottle and put some bleach in it. So you start off by squirting some down the brain cavity. It's nice to have somebody to hold it for you, and then you can go ahead, squirt some bleach on it, then go ahead and brush it on. The brush works good to be able to get close to the base of the antler without squirting bleach on it. You can use a toothbrush. I have a little 1-inch paintbrush that I cut the bristles off of just to make it a little bit stiffer. So we're just going to go ahead and let that dry while we put the bleach on the other two, and then we'll come back, repeat the process with the peroxide, and then they'll be ready to set in the sun. So we're just going to go ahead and repeat the process with the peroxide, just like we did with the bleach. So this one's all ready to go in the sun. We're going to finish up the other two, then we'll go set them in the sun. When you do that, you want to check them periodically throughout the day so that you can get as much sun as possible. Alright, so we had the deer heads wrapped up and they sat out in the sun, and they came out really nice. We got really nice white finish on them. We ended up putting them out for about 2 days, even though we said we were going to do it for 5 to 10 days. We feel that with the extra power washing and bleach combination that we did, that they came out and got bleached out a little bit quicker than normal. So we're gonna get these unwrapped and show you guys the final product. So we got all the foil taken off the antlers, and they came out pretty good, as you can see. If you need to, we can go back and we can rewash them if there's any of that white wax left on the antlers, and to get that bleach and peroxide off of the skulls. We're also going to show you guys a way that we like to display them on the wall, and we get a lot of compliments on this way, and we think it's a pretty unique way of displaying them, so we're going to show you guys how we do that. So this is what we use to display our Euro mounts. This is an old fence post off of a fence that we had tore down a few years ago, and we kept some of the better fence posts off of those. And then all we have is a little 90-degree bracket here that we bent to the right angle for the Euro mount to set on. And then we have some little hangers that we put on the back that we can hang on a screw on the wall, and we'll show you how that looks once you get it all set up. Alright, so here's a little look at what a deer head looks like on the post, and we'll go inside now and show you guys what it looks like on a wall. We really like this way of displaying them because it's a clean, natural, and not too complicated look. So this will give you a little bit of an idea of what your mount might look like on the wall. So thank you guys for watching the video today. Hope you learned something about this and you enjoyed it. We got a lot of work to do, stand work and scouting to do because it's early spring now. So we'll catch you guys next time.